Okay, good morning, everybody. I know we're on time. There's a lot of people that are kind of filtering in here, but we've got a lot of stuff to cover, and I want to get out of here at 10 or close to it. And we've kind of triple booked. We've got more guests than we would normally have, at least that have been told that they can come on up and speak here a little bit. So, at any rate, that sounds really loud. That's okay. That's okay. At any rate, I saw who subscribes to the Press Enterprise actually gets the physical paper. Okay. This article was not the one I was looking for. Did you see the papers? I think it was on Saturday, and it said something about Inland Empire economic forecast for 2014, past 10 years or some stuff like that. Did you see that?
I did.
Well, at any rate, I lost the paper. I tried to find the darn article in the newspaper on PE.com, which I think everyone, if you don't subscribe to the paper, you guys really should at least subscribe to the blog for PE.com, because they basically send you the headlines for free. And if you subscribe, which I think is like practically nothing, like $3 a year or something like that, at least you get the big stuff. And this was an article that was bottom half, below the fold, front page of the Press Enterprise 4 or 5 days ago. And it's not this specific one because the headline was different, but the bottom line is there's a lot of really good economic news out there. So for those of us, and I kind of throw myself into that category, you still kind of feel like we're stuck in the mud a little bit and things we wish would be moving a little bit faster, and maybe our efforts aren't putting through all the results we'd like. The gist of this article, this was put out by, and I wish I would have known where they did this. This was done Chapman University. And this particular piece of the article talks about the building market. But generally the entire article was, and help me out, Mike, to hit the bullet points. Employment is improving, and this was specific to the Inland Empire. Employment is improving, building permits are improving. It was all good stuff.
I think that they had retail space, office space was becoming more scarce, I think.
Retail space is becoming more scarce, which means more people are opening their businesses and doing their stuff. So, at any rate, I thought I'd kind of start our meeting out with that a little bit and share that with you. There was a couple of other articles that I was looking at that I thought were pretty spot on as well. But at any rate, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me just pull my PowerPoint up. And first of all, we do have a couple of guests. I want to apologize because we kind of... oh, by the way, I probably should make this announcement for those of you guys that haven't picked this up yet. Everybody's aware that Steve Orban is no longer our sales manager here in the office. If this is a surprise to you, I'm sorry that you are hearing this for the first time today. We sent out an email. I think pretty much everybody in this room I've talked to personally. Not that we need to go on about why and what and all the rest of that sort of stuff, but just so you guys know, I've known Steve for a very long time. Steve is a absolute class act. I consider him a friend and just a great human being. We just wasn't exactly what I was looking for from a management standpoint. So I'll just leave it at that. But we're on very good terms, and it would not shock me at all if he reached out to you guys. I know he reached out personally to most of you guys and kind of came over and gave you a hug and a handshake and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But bottom line, we're going to make some changes this year, you know, in all capacities of what we do. And not that we haven't taken our business seriously in the previous years, but I got to tell you, I am focused like a laser beam on this market, and I want to do everything we possibly can to continue to make this office and the market share in this office grow. And it may sound like a little bit of a poor commentary on how I was feeling with Steve, but the bottom line is we're going to make some changes this year, and hopefully you guys will all see those and feel those for the better. If you do have any thoughts, comments, pro or con, or concerns, please contact me directly. Like I've said a million times, I'm available 24/7 to you guys. It's amazing how my phone never rings after 5 o'clock or on the weekends.
Well, that's not true. You did pick up on a Saturday.
Well, yeah.
Lost the bet, right?
But generally speaking, you guys don't call me after 5 or on the weekends. So one of the criticisms I always get, oh, you're so busy, you're not available. Guilty. Certainly a little bit busier Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Certainly a little less available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But I'm always available to you guys. Okay, so at any rate, enough about that, and if anybody wants to talk to me offline as far as Steve and all the rest of that, I certainly would be happy to do that. Okay, we've kind of double booked here a little bit, so I want to get some of our guests here up quickly. Where'd Jennifer go? There she is. Jennifer is gonna, first of all, I believe you brought the food, right? Okay, well Jennifer brought the food, so we've got to at least give Jennifer an opportunity to come up and hawk her wares a little bit, just because that's how that works. So Jennifer's with Fidelity, and she's going to take 3 minutes.
3 minutes, you're going to time me?
And tell us, I am going to time you, and I got my hook here
It's going
somewhere.
to take you longer to eat a bagel.
All right, do it. Just talk loud.
Good morning,
We're
everybody.
videoing you.
I have a big mouth. You guys all know that and heard me and seen me before. So anyways, just a couple of things I want to go over with. I know when you pick up a brochure for home warranty, it gets really confusing. You open it up and it's like, what product should I order? This one has this one, that one has that one. If you haven't opened up a Fidelity contract and looked at it, we only have two. And it's very simple. One's a PPO, one's an HMO. And we don't sell any HMOs around here. We only do a PPO because you need air conditioning. So, permits, you need code violations, modifications, all that stuff. So, you want to cut the confusion out when you open up a home warranty program. Look at this one, $385, air conditioning included, audio upgrades, and I also check every order, make sure it's done right, Steve? Because if it's not, I fix it for you. So if you haven't tried Fidelity, give me a call, be happy to help you out. And I also answer my phone until 9 o'clock every night and on the weekends, right, Steve? So again, less than 3 minutes,
Wow.
right? All right, thank you, everybody.
Wow. Okay, Jennifer, you can bring breakfast every month if you keep it down to that. We can do that. So anyway, thank you, Jennifer, appreciate it. And it sounds like at least someone's giving you some business here in the office. Okay, I don't have a slide set up for, well that helps, Yeah, I don't have a slide set up for Kathleen, and this is where I kind of got caught a little bit short yesterday. Kathleen is with American Lifestyle Magazine. Get one of your magazines up here real quick?
Yes.
Let me do a commercial for you, then you
Thank
can do
you.
your commercial. Kathleen promised to keep her presentation down to 6 minutes, but let me help you out a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? Most of you
doesn't
guys
count.
know I don't like people coming and talking our sales meetings, especially when they're selling stuff.
Okay.
As a general rule, that's kind of a no-no of mine. Having said that, who's familiar with this magazine? A couple of you? How much does this cost?
There's two versions. One's $3 an issue. One's $3.50.
How much a year?
$18 to $21 a year to keep in touch
Okay,
with
this
the
is
past
how
client.
this works. I'm gonna do your presentation
Okay.
for you, then I promise I'll give you your 6 minutes. This actually is pretty cool, okay? It's 21 bucks. You sell a house. I just sold Ingrid a house. Like most agents, I never talk to her ever again because my follow-up sucks. I don't have any contact management system. I don't pick up my phone. I don't like the phone. I don't know how to write a letter. So I give Kathleen 21 bucks. She sends this magazine how many times a year?
Every other month, 6 times.
Every other month to Ingrid. It has my picture and name in the front cover.
Absolutely.
It's got my picture and name on the back cover. Where else am I? Somewhere in here?
Recipe cards, front
Recipe
back.
cards in there and some cool little articles. Okay? And it looks like it's your magazine. It's pretty cool. Okay? I know, it's been a long time
You
since
did
you
do
presented
it
here.
originally.
I
for
actually
me.
did this for a while.
Yeah.
And, say as I do, or say as I say, not as I do as I say. How's that work? Anyway, it's a good product. So at any rate, let me give you a couple minutes and you can really tell them, do the real
Okay.
pitch since you do this every day.
Thank you so much. And first off, I have a terrible allergy attack, so if I start choking, that's why I gotta go feeding faster. Okay, what American Lifestyle is about is a way for you to keep in touch with your past clients. And if you're not keeping in touch with your past clients, you're just missing a huge part of your business. I was at a couple of meetings. I go all over the place, all different offices, and I keep hearing this lately. 43% of your business, according to the National Association of Realtors, 43% is coming from a past client or a referral. So it only makes sense that you're going to spend 43% of your time or your advertising budget taking care of those past clients and the people that might give you a referral, your sphere of influence. The trouble is you're so busy with the people that you're dealing with now, a lot of you do put that on the back burner and you don't keep in touch with them. So here's a really easy, foolproof way to do it. Yes, it is a magazine. Yes, it comes out every other month. It's got all sorts of articles on American Lifestyle. There's always some sort of travel articles, hobby articles, food articles. It's a coffee table book. Probably the nicest compliment I got was out of your San Clemente office. Jimmy Reed, if you know him down there. He told me he likes it because there's no agenda. he felt very comfortable sending this to anybody. Everybody was going to like something in the magazine. It's truly a coffee table book. It's designed to get in the house and stay in the house. Anything that you're doing now that works for you, please keep doing it, but maybe it's time to add another layer. So how's it going to help you? Well, it's got compliments of in your name right on the front cover. You want to do me a favor and help me hand them out? Thanks. You can even choose to put your picture here if you want. I've got lots of samples in my bag. I'd love to show any of you any of them after the meeting. You've also got a addressed to your customers on the inside. The letter here, like any other letter from the editor in any magazine, it's going to say, I hope you like the articles on, whatever it is. But if you want it, no extra charge, you can rewrite this letter. Most of the agents I've sold it to over the last 8 years never touch it. But a lot of people like to put a holiday letter in, or they like to personally customize it each and every time. It's an option you have at no extra charge. Then contact information, front and back, you've got a tear-out recipe card. That's what we call our basic program. If the basic program is good for you, this page here and this inside cover, we're going to customize it. And I've got samples in my bag. That's the version that's $2.99, $3 an issue. If you want to do our platinum version, you have all the same features, plus you get to use this inside cover and back page. You can simply go to our website, download different things that you like, put the Coldwell Banker logo on it, you're good to go. A lot of people I've sold it to over the years have a partner, spouse, friend who has another side of the business, whether it's custom lighting, cabinet refacing. Sometimes people work with lenders. There's all sorts of things that you can do to customize this back page. Another thing I heard all last year, you're not listening, you're not lasting. How about when you go for that listing presentation, telling the client, tell you what, if I get the listing on your house, I'm going to feature it in the back of my magazine. And a lot of people do that with their premium listing. Just some tips, and again, I've got samples in my bag. Incredibly, postage is included in the price. We do it for you. Postage just went up. We've never changed our pricing. It'll be 8 years this May that I've done this. We've never changed our pricing. So here's the deal. Today, while I'm here, not when I get back on the freeway, today while I'm here, I can offer you my best pricing. The first one is a discount on the setup fee. Normally it's been $300, $299.99. Today, $99.99. I'm going to give you a $200 discount off the setup fee. You do need to do a minimum of 50, but I'm going to give you the 1,000 count price. So once again, if you do the basic program and you let us customize these back covers, $2.99 an issue. 6 times a year, that's $18 a year to keep in touch with a past client. You get one deal off it, the whole thing's paid for itself years and years and years down the line. If you want to do the platinum program, we simply charge you 50 cents more for both of these pages. That's $3.49 an issue, and that's where we come up with the $21 a year to keep in touch with the past client. You do need to do a minimum of 50. It's not worth anybody's time to do less than 50. Most of the people I've sold this to over the years send out between 50 and 75. If you don't have 50 people, you probably need to have a special meeting with Lance. Otherwise, a lot of people send 15 to themselves. Keep it around for that listing presentation piece. Keep it around when you're sitting open house. Everybody else is going to be handing out business cards. Why don't you hand them one of your magazines? Also, you can send it to your doctor's office, dentist's office, hair salon, car dealership waiting room, really just about any place that there is a waiting room. So once again, the specials are a $100 setup fee. I'm giving you the 1,000 count price for doing a minimum of 50. If you think about it, I just paid for your first mailing. If you're not happy after your first mailing, you can cancel. Otherwise, we're looking for you to do 9 issues, which is about 1.5 years. And we got one more offer. It's exclusive to you by name and address. Once you lock in a name and an address, they only can get this from you. We're not going to be sending 2 and 3 of these to in any address. So if you want one, take one. If you don't want one, no hard feelings. And I've got lots of samples in my bag. I'm going to stick around after the meeting, and I'd love to chat with you guys more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I gotta tell you, this is really one of those things that I kind of look at stuff like this and I think, gosh, if I had only done something differently in my real estate career, what sort of impact would it have been? Granted, 18 or 21 bucks a month sounds, or a year sounds pretty cheap. You multiply it times 50, you guys can do the math on that. But it's a pretty slick piece. Pretty slick piece when you put it all together. Anyway, thank you, Kathleen. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming out. Okay, guys, we've got, we're pretty well on schedule, so we're doing all right. We've got a couple new folks here. We've got at least one that's in the room. Raul Acosta is new. Is Manny here? Is Manny? I don't see Muhammad and I don't see Jay. Okay, Ingrid, when you recruit him, you got to get him to the meetings. Okay? So, at any rate, welcome, Earl. It's nice to see you, and I'm seeing you in the office, so that's a plus. That's a start. So, Ingrid is on a tear. I was sitting down with William a couple of days ago, and we were talking about farming or something. I don't know what we were talking about. And I love William to death. He leans across the desk, very serious look on his face, and says, "Lance, I think you need to know something." He said, "There's a bunch of companies out there poaching your agents." This serious look on his face. Oh my God. Well, welcome to the real estate business, my friend. And this is our prime poacher right over here. So wait till you close a couple of deals. Your phone's going to start ringing off the hook, and everybody and their brother's going to call you and be poaching you as well. So, at any rate, which frankly, not to digress back to the sales manager decision and some of the other things, bottom line, I got to tell you, we got to be on our A game. And when I say we, I mean me and the office and the staff and the management. I know how competitive this real estate market is, and it's competitive in every single area. Bringing me back to Ingrid, the recruiting efforts are off the hook. This young lady has set 34 appointments since January 1st for new people like Raul and others. And in all 5 offices, of course, we certainly haven't signed 34 agents or met with 34 agents in this office alone. But the market's changing. And you guys may say, why is that important? Who cares about what the recruiting's doing? I only mention that because there is a confidence in the marketplace within everybody. And people getting into the, and frankly, a lot of those appointments are newer folks getting into the business. But we had, I mean, the thought of someone getting into the business a year ago or 2 years ago, certainly 3 years ago, are you kidding me? The recruiting efforts were practically zero because it was so damn painful out there. Anyway, welcome, Earl. Anything I can do to help you, let me know. Cheryl's going to come up really quick and take a minute or so. She's got this cool thing that I found. Here, I'll pass these out. I don't know who was showing me. I think William was showing this to me, but or Eric was showing this to me. So anyway, check this out.
Okay.
Talk loud.
It's called Rate Plug. I don't know if you've seen it on CRMLS. There's a little insignia. This is great for your buyers. You can give them a sheet that will have our rates on it, and it's updated constantly. It's just there. They can also go online when you send them a listing. They can go online with that, and they can start playing with the payments. They can put in, what if I put more down? What if I did this? What if I did that? And it's live. It also creates flyers for your listings. So all you have to do is just let me know that you need one. I can produce it. Again, it has the rates and the information on it, and you give it to your buyers. So there's a sign-up sheet on the back to sign up. If you need a live demo, come on in my office and I'll put one up for you.
Has anybody seen this? You guys know what this is?
It's free. It's free to you.
Right.
So
I hadn't even seen it. Eric was playing around with it on his computer a week or so ago, and I'm still not completely sure exactly what it is. It's a plug into the MLS.
we'll come
It's a
in
plug
my
into the
office.
MLS, and when you email it out, it will show at the bottom what their payment will be and everything it shows right here, all the breakdown of the loan information.
So if you're
when you
emailing,
email out
if you've got a
listing.
prospect in the system and you email them out a listing match, on the bottom of that listing has, and it's not exclusive, I know Cheryl's just dying, it's not exclusive to PHH or Coldwell Banker. Who else is doing it?
You have to. I paid for it.
Yeah, well, I know you're paying for it, but how does it show up? Just how does it show up so Eric can see it as
I
opposed to?
signed up under her account.
So you sign up under her account?
Yeah.
But
Got
you
it.
can put anybody on there. once he signed up, if he decided he didn't want me to be on there,
Shh, don't say
put somebody else on there. Be honest.
that. So, hey, it's pretty cool. Is anybody using this? I would just, other than Eric, I would just take a look at it. I was like, he had it up on the screen and I'm looking at it. It's a pretty cool little widget. So if you send that email out to the client and it says, hey, here's the house for $400,000, it's got the little calculator on it and all the rest of that sort of stuff, which, you know, I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit later about the calendar and the portal. We did a training class yesterday in the portal. We've talked about the portal a couple of times, not a couple of times. It seems like we've talked about the portal every day for the last 4 months. We're getting closer, okay? I still want to get to the point where everybody goes to the portal and is a little more active in the need to go there, but the calendar's getting more up to date and more up to date. Okay, our monthly sales awards. By the way, if there's any mistakes on this PowerPoint, you can thank Stacy. Stacy helped me. I have no responsibility for this PowerPoint whatsoever. At any rate, our monthly sales for our top selling agent. Get on up here. Chris Leeper for 2014. Congratulations there, Mr. Leeper. Good job. All right, bring it in. Let's make a little bit of microphone buzz. So, anyway, you had a pretty darn good January, man. Not bad.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, congratulations, bud. And our top listing agent, which, by the way, before I flip this next slide over, we've made more than 1 or 2 mistakes in the past, as far as failing to recognize the right person or overlooking somebody because they listed commercial property and we were only looking at residential property. So I hope I get this right. I really hope I get this right. So, at any rate, our top listing agent for last month is Eric Fisher. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, good job.
Thank you.
Good job. That was nice. I pulled it up, and we're going to talk a little bit about inventory and listings for the last month. I was pretty excited, guys. I was pretty excited, and hopefully you guys will be excited too when we finish this meeting. Okay, we made a couple of mistakes last year, and I don't know if we captured all of the mistakes, but we screwed up in October. And frankly, I know someone's going to come up to me after this meeting and say, oh, by the way, yeah, you screwed me up in August and you screwed me up in September. So come on up and we're going to make up for it. But at any rate, we failed to recognize Medi and Sherry in October of last year as top selling. And I think we also failed to recognize them in April and May as top listing agent, which also meant we screwed up for I don't know, do we have, is the next slide the one I'm looking for? Okay, well, let's leave that alone. Which also meant we screwed up on recognizing Sherry and Medi at the annual awards party, which there's nothing worse than going to a party and expecting to pick something up, and then your name just gets completely blown by. So, in an effort to make up for that, come on up here, Sherry. Sherry and Medi should have been recognized on our boat cruise. And we missed them, and I love you, and thanks for not leaving me and Keller Williams or Prudential or anything like that. So, at any rate, thank you very much, and we'll get you the other ones for the monthly as well. So, some of you may also have noticed Medi has not been in the office for the last couple of days, and you may have heard she's had some health issues. So, you want to take a minute and share with the team what's going on with Medi?
Sure.
Can you?
You want me to do it? You okay?
Here, let me get it started, and then you can fill in. Medi's been struggling with some health issues. Everybody, I talked to Sherry earlier about this, and I've had some family members and friends who have had very similar issues, and some people, as we all know, are a little more open and willing to say, hey, this is what's going on in my life, and this is what's going on, and it's kind of, a topic of discussion, and it's not a big deal. And others, my experience are, I don't want anybody to know what's going on in my life. Let me just deal with it privately and personally. I'm not really sure where Medi falls into that category, but Medi is normally a pretty quiet and private person. So she's going through some stuff. If Sherry can share a little bit more.
Medi was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had surgery on Monday. She's had 2 surgeries so far. Everything is okay. I just go on a daily basis talking to her husband and family. She does have 1 more surgery to go through, so I'll keep you guys posted. So I don't know how long she's going to be out. This is all new. She's very healthy. This is her very first surgery, anything, so it's a big shock for her. I mean, I was really surprised. I did go to a couple meetings with her before this, and there is so much breast cancer out there. We were both shocked, you know, you're a survivor. So she's still in the hospital. She's at Kaiser in Riverside. I don't know how long she'll be there. She's got her family with her all this week, and probably next week she'll be home. I don't know if she'll have it. I'm sure she'll have somebody. So there's a few of us that are going to, once she gets settled, to help out her and her husband. He's a teacher, and we're going to take some meals over to her. And I'm going to pick up a card. If you guys want to sign it, pick up your own, whatever. You know, you can come and ask me, and I'll just keep you updated on how she's doing. But just keep her in prayer. Yesterday, she still had a lot of pain and dizziness going on. So I'm solo right now.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's certainly keep Maddie in our prayers and anything that you need, because you're like the support cheerleading crew over there. So you may need a little bit of help too. So
I got a lot going on my
don't be
side
afraid
too.
to ask. So we're gonna put together like a big card. Are we gonna try to do that today or tomorrow or next day or two?
Yeah.
So
I
if you
think
guys
we'll
want
get
to
one
sign it or
today.
something like that, and or send some flowers to when is she gonna be home?
I don't know. I'll
Little
keep
while.
you posted.
Okay.
I'm just
All right.
going day by day.
We'll let you guys know. Kind of keep you posted on what's going on. So anyway, that's a tough one. But I don't honestly, and don't take offense to anybody in the room. I think if I had to say who's one of the healthiest peoples in this whole damn office, I would have said it was Maddie. I think she's drinking
yeah.
tea and grass and all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, her percent body fat has to
Go
be
to the
like
gym
0.
with her, she'll kick her ass.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, anyway, man, you never know. This stuff is stuff. So, okay, thanks for sharing that, Sherry. Okay, maybe we'll bring a birthday cake next month, I don't know, but we're gonna recognize a few birthdays this month.
There's one up there.
Huh?
There's a birthday cake over there.
Oh, we are bringing a birthday cake. Who brought the birthday cake? Ingrid brought the birthday cake, and Ingrid's responsible for our birthday slides. So, at any rate, Debbie actually just texted me. She wasn't feeling well this morning, just literally texted me before the meeting started, so she's not here. I haven't seen Lou or Vince in a while, and Sarah, is Sarah here? Yeah. Okay, well she's working, so. Sarah, happy birthday. You're welcome. Everybody be nice to Sarah, she cuts the checks. All right, get back to work. So, anyway, we're gonna take a look at some market data. And I know I always tease myself when we do this because I get worried that I go on too long and I talk too much and yada yada yada. But I got to tell you, I am really excited about the reports I'm going to share with you. If you don't leave here excited, then I'm doing a bad job and you don't understand what I'm about ready to show you. Okay? So, first of all, does this look familiar? I'm at the portal. Actually, let's turn these lights off, make this a little bit easier to see. If you don't recognize where we're at, because again, a lot of you have not been to the portal yet. Oh, actually, good thing I did that. I'm not logged in. We are at our CBTC portal. One of the things I've been telling you guys for the last no. All the front ones. Just hit them. Just hit all of them. We'll be all right. It's well enough in here. At any rate, one of the things I've been telling you guys for a little while now is when we do any sort of market data report or anything that we're going to talk about in the office, training, market data, whatever it happens to be, that I'm going to put that data on the portal at a place where you can access it. And I tell you I'm going to do it within the next couple days or within the next week, and then the reality is it doesn't get done. So we've got all this great data, and the only time you guys get to see it is when I present it to you, or when you come and ask for it later and say, hey, can I get a copy of that? So we're going to finally put some action into the play here. And I'm going to make sure you guys have this data available to you right now, which is actually what I'm going to show you right now is available to you right now. So from now on, whenever we do these type of presentations, I'm not going to embed these reports into a PowerPoint or on a PDF. I'm going to pull them straight off of our portal, and you guys literally will be able to access them at the same time I access them. So, and if you can't, I don't know if anybody's on the portal right now, but if you can't access it, you need to let me know immediately, because then we have some sort of a sharing thing. Which, by the way, Stacy is kind of our new right-hand girl here in the office manager stuff. Anna's still with us. I know many of you might have already talked to Anna and said, hey, what's going on? I see you kind of switched around. We just kind of did some musical chairs, and Anna's helping out in property management. Stacy's going to kind of be my right-hand girl in that regard a little bit. So anyway, thank you, Stacy, for getting this going. So at any rate, we're at the portal. I'm going up to resources. I'm clicking on the file cabinet, and again, if you've been in any of the training classes previously, you'll notice we have these folders in here. The folders basically have stuff in it: training materials, copy of our E&O license, all the rest of that sort of stuff. We have a new folder, and we're probably going to tweak this a little bit. I'm not sure I like the format exactly the way we have it, but for now it works. There is a folder called Market Data, and in that folder, actually it has multiple folders. And for now, I'm just going to pull up CRMLS. And right now, we've got 6 reports in here. We're probably going to gather these and label them a little bit differently. But we've got some older reports for some stuff that we did back in September. My goal is to update this every single month. And I'm going to do it forever. And actually, we have these reports going back for about 7 years. Not that you're going to want to go back every day, but I can certainly see a possibility that you might want to say, hey, what was the median price in CRMLS in September of 2006? Well, that information will be available to you with about 5 mouse clicks. So right now, we're just populating the database. So what I'm going to pull up, the report that I'm excited about, is the January 2014 supply and demand report. Again, you guys will be familiar with this because you've seen these for a long time. By the way, it's, well, never mind, you guys will figure that out. Because I think I pulled it up twice. Okay, this is the report. I'm going to get off the graph really quick and go to the numbers. But inventory, ever so slightly up in January, which isn't really a huge shock. Because if you go back to last year, December, January inventory ticked up, kind of ticked down in February, then kind of ticked back up, and then frankly we've been sliding for the last 5 or so months on inventory. But inventory ticked up. But the super exciting part, let me show you the pendings. Can you see that okay? Make that a little bit bigger. Well, I don't know how well you can see that, but let me walk you through it. Units for sale. For the first time since the last, I guess, 6-7 months, we've actually seen an increase in units for sale. Not a huge surprise, and quite honestly, not a huge number. Went from 43,627 in December to 43,947. Okay, nothing to get too excited about, but the thing that I like about it, number one, it's in the right direction, and what I also like about it is there was 14,885 new listings taken in the month of January. Should I say that again? 14,885 listings taken in the month of January. Not bad. I like that number a lot. And honestly, I think the majority of those listings were taken in the last 2 weeks of January. Because it seemed as though the first week to 10 days, 2 weeks of January was pretty thin. So I'm really, really happy about that number. What I'm also really happy about is this number, the under contract number. Some of us had better Decembers than others. And again, this is CRMLS, it's the entire MLS. The pending numbers under contract for December were the worst they had been in the last 2 years. Okay? And quite honestly, had we gone back for 2 years before that, which I could probably do if I was more prepared, it was probably the worst single month for putting properties under contract in, I don't know how many years. December was tough, okay? However, January, we went from 8,100 pendings in January to almost 11,000. 10,800 pendings. I think that's somewhere in the neighborhood of about a 34 to 35% increase in pending sales in 1 month. And again, you would kind of expect that, because if you go back to January of last year, we kind of saw a similar jump, but it wasn't quite that. So I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of listings that are coming onto the market, and it appears as though, and by the way, if you guys, well, the data is the data. It's kind of hard to argue with that. If you're not feeling that, if you're not experiencing that, as far as activity and appointments and listing activity, then we need to sit down and talk about why. You know, I mean, I know a few of you just in casual passing said, geez, I've got 5 listing appointments in the last 10 days. I'm going on a listing appointment tomorrow. And we're taking listings. And across the board, if you look at the listing activity in all 5 offices, it's not ridiculous, but compared to where we were a month ago, it's not bad. So bottom line is, it appears as though the sellers are engaging the market, which is this 14,000 number. And again, you have to go back to the summer months where we saw more, which is really what I think, and this is the problem. Let's not wait, guys. Let's not wait till spring to go to work, right? Because that, right?
It's spring now.
It's spring. Spring has sprung. Let's do it. Okay. So, but the good news, and if there's a reason to feel positive here, is we really came out of the gate super strong in January. And if you go back and you take a look at a year later, February was a little softer, but March, April, May, June, July, August, let's stop at August, the listed inventory was just cranking and cranking and cranking. So that's why when I mentioned that Press Enterprise article earlier today, there seems to be a little bit of stability underneath this marketplace. Interest rates are still low. Today's newspaper, I don't know if Mike, if you had a chance to read it, but the business section of the Press Enterprise today quotes Janet Yellen, our new Fed Reserve Chair, basically saying stability and continuity with rates this year. We've got a lot of different people here from BOA. I'll introduce you guys in a little bit. Cheryl, of course, with PHH, a global banker. And I'm surprised there's not 17 other lenders underneath the desk here somewhere. But at any rate, the general consensus is interest rates, for the most part, if we see any change, it's not going to be significant. And that's basically exactly what Janet Yellen said in the paper this morning. So I am really excited about these numbers. Now, if you want to point out the downside, yeah, we only closed 8,400 properties in December. Ouch. Okay, that's tough. Excuse me, in January. We only closed 8,400 properties in January, which is single worst month, at least on this chart. Okay, but it makes sense because we only had 8,400 or 8,100 under contract before. Now we've got almost 11,000 under contract. The closings for February should jump, should pop pretty dramatically. It's entirely possible there'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,500, 11,000 closings in the month of January. So I like these numbers. You guys need to know these numbers. You should get excited about this one, and quite honestly, you should get excited about that one. So I've sat down just in the last week and a half with a few agents here in the office just talking farm territories, and we're going to spend a little time going through the farming stuff. And again, you should feel pretty excited about this. Who's actively farming or doing something right now? Doing drops, getting in neighborhoods, knocking doors? Are you seeing results? Are you starting to see top listing agent? You know, right?
Yeah.
Not bad. Something's going on. So, nice. Nice stuff. So, at any rate, anybody have any questions on this? Okay, I'll just pull up median. We didn't load median for Moreno Valley, but I will show you median for CRMLS. And again, you guys need to know this. Median price for CRMLS is actually dipped a little bit in January. Not significantly, but it's still up 45% from 2 years ago. But the median did tick down just a smidgen, probably less than 1% in January. I will show you Moreno. By the way, we have these reports for every single city. I don't have it super handy. This is not on the portal that I'm going to show you right now, so I already broke. It is on there? Oh, I stand corrected. Oh, look at you. Nice.
Stacy had to keep you to your word.
Stacy did. Stacy did. If you were in the training class yesterday, if anything went wrong this morning, it was going to be her head. Okay, this is Moreno Valley. So even though the chart I just had up showed CRMLS with a slight pullback in median price, Moreno Valley, I mean, this is a pretty strong chart. And this is, by the way, this is a 59.9% increase in median from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That does, I mean, God, just saying that out loud just sounds ridiculous. A 60% increase in median from 2 years ago.
Wow.
$147,000 median sales price, January 2012. $235,000 sales price, January 2014. Pretty impressive. Which again is why I still think that there's confidence in the buy side of this transaction. These numbers, it wasn't big, but it was up. Just they said summer, even since summer when we were kind of hot, right? I mean, it wasn't any hotter in this market than June, July, August. And June, July, August, we were just floating right around, well, June we were 200,000, 214, 224, 226, 29, 35, 39, 40. And they're selling. And they're selling. So, list or die, guys. You guys got to get out there and grab these listings. This is what we've been waiting for, right? We've been waiting for this market because we've all been forced for the last few years to go out and work with buyers because the REO inventory wasn't there. If you weren't an REO agent, you didn't have anything to sell. Short sale inventory was like pulling teeth. My God, I want to go get a bunch of short sales and not get paid. So we've all been forced to work with buyers. And we've been waiting for it. By the way, there's nothing wrong with working with buyers. Okay, many of you have a business model that is weighted heavily towards working with buyers. I get it. I'm not going to make an argument against it, except right now I'm going to make an argument against it. If you want to work with buyers, go get some listings. You'll have more buyers than you know what to do with. Right? Go control listing inventory. All right? It is out there. 14,000 new listings in our Moreno Valley. Let's not get overly... I'm on the wrong chart. Let me pull up the other supply and demand chart for Moreno Valley. I don't know if this is going to have the... Chris Lieber and I were looking at some stuff yesterday or the day before. This one. And I was pretty shocked. I don't know if we'll have the time to pull the data up. Chart. Okay, this is supply and demand Moreno Valley. In the month of January, total of 621 properties active on the market, at least for a day. I think I pulled inventory a couple days ago and it was, what, 310?
317 as of like 2 minutes ago.
317. 370 properties active as of then. But 191 under contract. This is very similar to what we were just talking about with the other number. December, we only had 127 under contract. Yes, we had a crappy sales month. I get it. Not a lot of escrows closed because the December was difficult. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention on the other one. You guys got to start working expireds. Who's working expired listings? Slenny, is that you? Okay, now's the time. If you've been waiting, I had somebody, one of our business consultants, a Coldwell Banker, came in 2.5, 3 years ago and said, Lance, I want to come to your sales meeting and do a talk on expired listings. I'm like, I need a new business consultant. Why would you want to come in and do a sales talk on expired listings when there are no expired listings? Okay. Now, if you called me today, or even 3 or 4 months ago, I would have said, I see it. Who has their own personal hot sheet that they run every day, and who's got hot expireds on it? Are there starting to be expired listings on that sheet? Are any of them sellable?
Yep.
Go get them. Go get them. If you've taken expired listings out of your business model, you need to reevaluate your business model. Okay? Now this is the crazy part. How many listings are on the market right now?
317.
There was 232 listings taken last month. Any reaction to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I literally, if you guys are pausing because you're trying to digest that, I get it. That's something else, guys. We have 317 listings on the market today. 232 listings were taken last month. I'm not a mathematician, but that appears as almost 2/3 of every listing that's, and to get the, oh, and by the way, how many of these 232 do you think are now in this category right here, under the 191, under contract? A bunch. A bunch. I'm sitting down just the other day, I was running this type of search, saying, give me listings that have sold since, by the way, doing some farm work. We're looking at a map, we're looking at farms, and we're saying, geez, there's not any active listings in this farm. I don't want to farm here. We got some pendings and we got some sold, but there's no active listings. So we take a look, do a little bit deeper, we take a look at the pendings. Okay, well, there was one area, I think it might have been in Williams Farm we were looking at, Chris and I were working on this, and I may have the numbers off a little bit, but we're looking at the chart and we're saying, well, wait a minute. There were, in the month of January, there were 7 listings taken in this farm. And 4 of them went pending in the month of January, in this farm. So when you look at the map and it says there's only 3 active listings, there's no activity. Well, no, there were 7 listings. 7 listing opportunities in that farm of 300 houses, 400 houses. And literally within a day, a week, 2 weeks, 60% of those went pending. That's exciting stuff, guys. So when you're starting to look at inventory is low, only 317 properties on the market. Well, by the end of the day, there's probably only going to be 305 properties on the market because they're going to sell and then we're going to replace them. So you've got to go out and get new inventory. And again, it's not so much that a trend makes, but 232 new properties taken just in the city. It wasn't that long ago. What was the lowest amount of available inventory that we had in a month? Like 110?
99.
99? And that was what, 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
Yeah, like
6 months ago? Okay, 6 months ago, there's 100 total properties available in this city. Last month, 232 new listings were taken. Can you feel it? Am I the only one who's feeling it? Am I not doing a good job of selling this? I'm telling you guys, it's there. The market is there. Let's take advantage of it. Okay, anybody got any other questions on that? Or any questions on that? All right. Seeing none. I feel like I'm not communicating too well this morning, but the data looks good, guys. Go out and grab it. I don't really have much in the form of news. Everybody have fun at the party?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to do that again next year? What are we going to do next year? Vegas?
Yeah.
You like the boat?
Let's bring the boat. Let's bring the boat to Vegas.
Take the boat to Vegas?
Yeah.
We could do that. I'm sure that's been done before. Anyway, it was a good time. I want to thank everybody that came and brought their family and stuff. We finally, for the first time ever, we broke 200. And what was our count? 212, which is great. If I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed because we had 293, I think, confirmed. So we still had a little bit of dead loss, so to speak. But and it was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Moving along. Sky Slope, I'm not really going to touch much on Sky Slope today other than to say please use it. You may very well be getting some phone calls and emails from Stacy that talks about things we need to do in Sky Slope. Wolf Connect, that's our portal. We spent some time on that. Before I jump into escrow, I want to pass, let's flip the lights back on for me, Catherine, if you could. I don't want to take a lot of time on this because I talked about this in the Santa Ana office. Or not in the Santa Ana office, in the Redlands office yesterday. Has anybody seen the draft contract for CR, the new purchase contract? Have you looked at it? You love it? You hate it? You don't care about it? Okay. This is the deal. You've got, if there's anything in this contract that you like or don't like, let me know. Try to let me know by Friday, and I will kick your input back to the people that are writing the contract. This is literally your opportunity to say, these are the changes I want to make in the new contract.
Let me just make it a one-page. What changes did they make?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 1 page. That's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for a 1-page purchase contract.
What about the half a page we talked about?
The half a page. I was telling Eric a couple of days ago, I got to get this framed to bring into the office. Most of you know my grandma is kind of first generation in our family. Was selling real estate in the Long Beach area back in the 40s and 50s. The purchase contract that they used to use was a half a page.
Okay.
It had a date, an address, buyer's name, seller's name, and a blank space. And in the blank space, you put the price and when you wanted to close, and they signed it. And that was it. And, oh, by the way, and no disclosures.
No.
God, how cool would that be? Think about it. Oh, half a page. God, we've screwed this business up, you know? And quite honestly, I mean, if my grandma, and she's still alive and well, I mean, if she was here at 92, 93 years old, she would probably say, they did just fine. They did perfectly fine. They had challenges with the deals, but I don't know, sometimes I think we've overcomplicated things. So at any rate, take a look at this. This is going to change. The new purchase contract is going to be published in November. However, any changes that you guys may think you want to make on this, you will have to let me know, or you can go straight on the CAR's website and you can post a little comment and say, hey, this is what I think and what I don't think. I've read this thing like 5 times. The most controversial thing in here is if you flip over to page, by the way, it's different, so page 2 is not normally where page 2 would be. But if you flip over to the second page and you go back to allocation to cost down at the very bottom, they've taken out any reference to the termite. Okay, so I got a weird look over there and I got a high five over there. So they're basically, they want to strip out, when I say they is us, guys. Okay, so the bigger realtor community that looks at this stuff has, at least for now, is proposing no reference to termite, also no reference to septic, no reference to well. So those options that we had, buyer to pay for termite or seller to pay for, they're basically taking them out of the contract, or they're proposing to taking them out of the contract completely. So if you're scratching your head and you're saying, why would we do that? The argument in favor of doing it is twofold. Number one, not every lender requires termite to get a loan done. And frankly, we have just gotten in a habit as realtors of just checking the box. We're going to do termite because that's what we've always done. All right? The same thing with the septic and the well. Not every property has, of course, a septic or well. But how many people have written an offer, if you have, don't do it again, or have received an offer as a listing agent where the buyer's agent just said, oh yeah, I need a well cert, I need a septic cert, and there's not a well or a septic. They're trying to make the form a little less idiot-proof and to stop checking damn boxes that you don't necessarily need to check. So, but the flip side of that is, so if you're saying, wait a minute, what if we do need a termite, we need to ask for termite, then what we need to do, which we very rarely use in this office, I went through some Sky Slope closed files, just kind of seeing who's using these forms, and it's not mandatory. The buyer's waiver of inspections or the buyer's election of inspection. Who uses the buyer's inspection election form? 3, 4 hands, 5 hands? Okay. Well, if you're using that form, then you will probably have no problem with these changes. Because on that form, which really is probably where this is going, we'll make that form mandatory now. You write an offer, you fill in your stuff, you get it done, then you go to the buyer's election of inspections, and which has got, how many inspections are on there? Like 50?
Yeah.
There's just a million inspections, and you get an inspection for, carpet cleaners, whatever. So anyway, then you would on that form, you would say, buyer wants a termite inspection. That would prompt the WPA, and then on the WPA, you would say who pays for section 1, who pays for section 2.
Are they getting rid of the WPA?
If you go back to, what page is that, like 6 or 7?
I don't know, these pages aren't numbered. I think
Well,
they are.
yeah, well, they're not numbered, but you have to just count physically pages as you go back. If you go, well, before you get there, go to the bottom of page 5, where it says seller's disclosures, addenda, advisory, and other items. They've gotten rid of all of that, but they relocated it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so they took it off of page, whatever that is, item 11. They relocated it to,
7.
I guess what would be page 7. But if you look on the page 7, the WPA is taken off. Because there'll be no, so if you're going to use the termite, in other words, if you're going to ask for a termite, you got to use the buyer's election of inspection, say termite, and then you'll add the WPA. It won't be part of the contract anymore. So to be honest with you, I actually like the changes the way they are. When I've been in these meetings, it's been kind of a 50-50 split. I think a lot of agents who are just kind of accustomed to having the termite on there, and it's been there forever. As long as I've been in the business, it's been there. So there's some resistance to that. My feeling right now is what you have in front of you will probably be what we get with the variable on the termite. And right now it's probably a flip of a coin. But everything else in here actually is pretty good. There's some cool stuff in here. Not cool, but there's some good stuff. So
Get rid of all the squares for circles?
Yeah, they're changing the
Circle gets
squares
the
for
square.
circles. Hey, it's 2014,
Well,
you know, we gotta get, those are not circles, those are radio buttons, right?
They're sexy, I like them.
Aren't those nice? That's so funny. I thought I was pretty techie, and someone was saying, you gotta click the radio button. I'm on this computer screen. I click the radio button. What the hell's a radio button, man? I don't know, radio button. The little buttons, the little circles, those are radio buttons. I learned something. Anyhow, all right, so if you got any thoughts or input on that, either go to CER's page or come see me. Any questions? All right, we may actually get out of here on time then. Okay, again, I want to thank you guys for supporting Summer. Hi, Summer. You want to come out and say hello? Summer's hiding this morning. She forgot we had a sales meeting, so she didn't have her town and country shirt on. So, at any rate, Summer's open for business.
You just get a copy
Yes,
of the
and
check.
thank you guys, thank you to everybody that gives me business, and just so everybody knows, as usual, I can do net sheets, anything you need, so.
Great.
For you.
There you go.
What was that, Summer?
Anything you need.
Anything you need.
Anything you need. Thank you, Summer. Okay, and obviously, thanks for you guys supporting property management. That's always a given. Don't know that we have any hot topic. Oh, there we go. I knew that. Thank you. See, you got me covered. You got me covered. Okay, there's one other thing I think I have on here. I didn't tell Stacy, so I know there's not a PowerPoint for it. And who's familiar with the Coldwell Banker sponsored Ninja training? Has anybody ever even heard of that? If you went to the Gen Blue thing we did down in Palm Desert last June or July, there was, on day 2, they had a guy come up and talk about his...
Larry Kendall.
Larry Kendall, thank you, Drew. Larry Kendall with, he's actually a broker, but they've got this kind of, it's like a 3-day kind of a boot camp kind of thing. At any rate, there's a couple of brokers in our area that are going to be basically bringing these guys out to do this. It's very similar to just kind of like a high impact, you know, Tommy Hopkins, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry training program. It's going to be local. We're probably going to have it at Ivar. It's 3 days. It's not free. It's the price is $750. We're getting it for $525, give or take a couple bucks or something like that. I will get you guys more information. This is the deal. I will not pay for it, but if you take it, I will reimburse you on the first deal that you close right after that. So in theory, it's free. So you got to put a little bit of skin in the game. So if you spend the money, and granted it's a 3-day commitment and 500 and some odd bucks. I have not personally taken the classes, but I have heard great things about it. I've sat in a bunch of meetings with broker owners who have literally sent their people to Colorado. That's one of the things. This is, normally they don't do on-site stuff. If you want to do this, you have to fly to their facility in Colorado to do it. So they're going to do it on-site. So the risk to you basically is 3 days of your time. Okay? If you don't think you're going to close the deal after you take the class, then I don't know what the hell you're doing in this meeting right now. So, but at any rate, if you've got 3 days, and I'll get you obviously some more information and kind of a little brochure so you guys can make a decision. This is the deal though. We've got a limited window. We've got to book at least 50 people. I don't need 50 people from our office. I thought we might be able to get somewhere between 10 and 15 between our 5 offices who might be interested in. It's a pretty good program from what I have heard. So I'll have Stacy or Ingrid shoot an email out to you guys. You kind of take a look at what the summary of the syllabus is and all the rest of that sort of stuff and take a peek at it. And if you're interested, let us know. You cut the check, we'll pay you back on your first closing, 100% of it. So, and again, bottom line, if you plan on closing the deal in the next couple months, and you have 3 days, which is the big commitment, I probably would go. If you pick up 1 or 2 things, it's worthwhile. Okay, I think I'm done with my PowerPoint. By the way, no one's been bugging me about license renewals. My personal broker's license is expiring tomorrow. All the paperwork's been sent, don't worry about that. For most of you that have been bugging me, you were concerned about my corporate broker's license, which was renewed and now it expires in 2017. But if any of you have like a BPO thing that your account or something like that, and you're getting emails that say, hey, your corporate or your broker's license, my broker's license is expiring. The corporate, which is anybody in that category? Okay, so anybody who has that knows it's the corporate license and you already have that. I went through that last year. So at any rate, just in case that comes up, the renewal should be in any second now. I've sat down with a lot of you doing business planning. If you want to do it, let's sit down. We're still willing to shoot videos, you guys. We're still. 2014.
Okay.
You ready? Ready, sir? Shall we? No?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, the plan has always been, you want to shoot a video after the sales meeting, we'll set the camera up, we'll put the blue screen or green screen up and we'll shoot some videos. You gotta get with it. You gotta get with it, man. I'm telling you, that's where it is at.
Yeah.
Make a wish. In January and December, we raised $30.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
And Wounded Warriors, we raised $155.
All right.
So, at any rate, there is a slight change. Let me show you guys what we're doing here with this. Because I know a few of you guys are supporting this, and thank you. I apologize to minimize our $30 and make fun of that. But it is $30. It's kind of embarrassing. This is what we're doing from now. And I was going to ask some to raise your hands if you're participating, but I won't do that. I won't put you on the spot like that. However, this is our plan. Oops, it's not where I wanted to be. Stop it. Hello? Struggling.
Struggle is real.
Hello.
We're almost there. Are we going? There we go. Okay, this is what we're doing on our website now. And by the way, as much as we have kind of said our website gets a little stale and stuff, I actually recruited a guy yesterday who came to us specifically because of our web presence,
Oh, good.
which I thought was pretty damn cool. So anyway, this is what we're doing. If you guys have signed up and said, hey, I want to support Make-A-Wish, what we're doing now, what we were doing is we were taking, or Wounded Warrior, what we were doing is we were taking the money, we were holding on to it, and then we were going to send it to them at the end of the year. We're not doing that anymore. And the reason I'm pointing this out to you is you can do this yourself. You don't have to do it, but if you said, hey, I want to give $50 on a closed escrow, what's happening now is Sarah will come in to our website. She will click on the Make-A-Wish Foundation link. It will take us to our own page. Now, I just told you we raised $30. Obviously, we haven't put the money in the account now, so we're going to basically just push that out, and we're going to make the donations as they come in. And the same thing with Wounded Warrior, so it'll show up there. So if you have anybody, or if you want to do this, you don't have to do it through us. You can do it yourself, or if you want to send a link to one of your clients and say, hey, we're doing something for Make-A-Wish, or whatever it happens to be, we can take them straight to our website. They can put their credit card in and donate $10. So,
Very good.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And frankly, I want to thank Ingrid and Stacy and Hannah, frankly, for working on this for the last several months, because they've really spearheaded it, and if it hadn't been for them, none of this really would have been happening. Anyway, it's good. So we're getting there. We got a little slower start than I think we would have liked, but we're getting there. Okay, I'm done, but before I see if you have any questions, I did want to introduce James McKibben. He's with Bank of America. James is I don't know if he can do a loan worth a damn, but I'll tell you one thing, the guy's a hell of a salesman, okay? This guy's been beating on my door for
4 years.
4 years.
110 calls, 7 face-to-face meetings. Here we are today. So
That's right. So, at any rate, James is with B of A. He's brought his team with him of a couple. We got Heath over here, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Marquita over here. So you may see James rolling around in and out of the office, or part of his team. As you guys all know, we have an open office. Last week, JR at Wells Fargo and Lawrence were in here, and tomorrow Chase will be in here. The next day, ABC Mortgage will be in here. So just like, and of course Cheryl's been camped out in here damn near every day. So they're going to have to run your business. So anyway, James is, if anything, the guys can sell. So, and B of A appears to have gotten their act together here in the
We're
last,
closing deals quick.
in the last little bit.
I just closed the deal in 16 days, which I'll touch on.
Okay,
How much time do we have?
You've got about 60 seconds.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
it.
I want to introduce Marquita in today because she's our 203K rep. First off, my name is James McKibben. I'm a sales manager. Yes, I call Lance a lot and it works, so this is a good thing. She does the renovation, lending, with our office. I'm gonna let her go because she's driven here from San Diego. So jump in if you can.
Good morning, thanks
Good
for letting
morning.
us have a minute of your time. I'm a specialist in 203K. I've been doing 203K for coming up on 13 years. So the 203K has been around forever, but it's really a great time to learn about 203K. We're happy to come in and do a lunch and learn, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially because hard to cover kind of a lot of the 203K in a minute, but I will tell you that 203K allows a client to purchase a property and include the money for repairs. All of the work is done after the close of escrow, so you're already selling your next deal and then the work begins. So we have a great program. Like I said, I've been doing it for 13 years. We're successfully closing in anywhere from 28 days to 60 days. The difference is how quickly the client identifies what work they want to do on the property. I have a recent client that bought a HUD home, and when they got the HUD appraisal, it had more than 10 grand worth of work. And while he was at it, he decided to upgrade the kitchen, and the difference in his payment was $14. So I think a lot of times it's hard. Of course, you have the requirement to help sell a home, and I think your challenge is helping them see what it can be. But how often do you walk into a home and it's perfect and they like everything exactly the way it is? Most likely they want to do things like change the carpet, flooring, put granite countertops, hardwood floors, stainless steel appliances, as an example. 203K allows all of that, upgrades, and of course it works for those properties that really need some serious work too. There's no limit on the amount of repairs. We're only limited to the loan amount in your area, which is
$355, $350.
$355, $350. Just recently changed January 1 to $355, $350, but there's a lot of opportunity to help clients make the home what they want it to be. Redoing bathrooms, redoing kitchens. They can even just include a washer and dryer. That's okay with us too.
So now before, when it was cash only, now you can actually go out and get your client that home with financing. And the fact that we can close them now in 25 to 30 days is really great.
Who's done a 203K recently? Close it?
Like
A year?
And they were tough, back in the day. I mean, I wouldn't really touch them myself even, but now with your stories and success, I mean, we're almost, marketing for these because they can really help more people. We have some other stuff that we want to touch on, but maybe with our time we'll come back for it.
Yeah, what we can do with James and his team, like I said, I've been talking to James for 4 years now. We'll get you set up for a lunch and learn. You can come out and do that, and maybe get you scheduled another time for
That'd be great.
some more stuff. We're a little bit overbooked. He's been talking about the 203K product for a long time.
Love it, hate it.
I haven't done
Anybody got an opinion?
What, two,
What?
Be honest. You like it, or who wants to screw around with it?
in 30 days, I like
If you could, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
kind of where I was going with it. The problem with this program in the past, and we've all kind of got, at least me, I have this mindset of, oh, really? Really?
Sure.
We're gonna be able to close this thing? Why are we wasting our time? I've got this offer, they don't perform, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. It's all been a matter of time.
Sure, absolutely.
If you can get them done, and you don't need to do it in 21 days, get it done in 35 days. Get them done in a reasonable period of time.
I'm a dedicated specialist too,
Dedicated
so
department,
it's
right.
literally the only thing I do. So obviously, if you're a real estate agent and all you do is real estate, you're great at real estate, right?
Yeah.
Since it's all that I do, if I didn't do it well, we'd have a problem.
Right.
I'd have a problem feeding my family. So we do them well, and there's so many great things about it. We can lend up to 110% of the after improved value.
Right.
You can include mortgage payments for up to 6 months for the time the house is uninhabitable. There's so many great things to help your clients move in when the house is ready, when you can give them the keys to a perfected house instead.
I don't know the answer to this, so I'm looking to see if anybody's got a feel for it. But I think the answer is significantly shifted as far as, of those 11,000 escrows that were opened in January, I'm really curious as to how many of those are cash sales as opposed to finance sales. I've got to think, because the percentage a couple, 3 months ago was skewed to cash to the ridiculousness. You couldn't compete with the investors and all the rest of that. I've got to think that number has skewed dramatically to the finance buyer, whether it's FHA or conventional buyer, which is good. That's another thing. I'm again, 10, 15 minutes ago, I said we got to go out and focus on listings, okay? But for those of us who have been forced to be focusing on buyers for whatever period of time the last few years, one of the frustrations in working with buyers is, well, first of all, I had to compete against 500 other buyers that could get my offer accepted.
Right.
And then over the summer and recent past, you've had to compete with hedge funds and cash buyers, and how the hell can you take your FHA buyer in there and compete against an all-cash deal, full price with somebody else? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, it appears on my observation that those cash investors are gone, okay? Now, maybe not gone, but just as a percentage of the market. And I'm curious, what do you guys see in loan applications? Did you guys see a spike in loan applications in January?
Yeah, we had a good month. I think it was up probably 20% or
Okay.
so.
Well,
That'd be true.
I would think so, because if we went from 8,000 pendings in December to 11,000 pendings in January, it seems like you guys should be getting busy. You know,
We are
to be
busy,
taking
yeah.
loan apps. Because I don't think, who's seeing a lot of cash stuff? Who's working with cash buyers right now? A couple of you? On the listings being taken, have you seen cash offers in on those, or only finance offers?
I've got one cash.
Still a little bit of cash? Okay. Oh, one cash, as
Even the
opposed
cash
to,
buyers oftentimes want to get financing afterwards, they pay cash to get the deal. Those are 203Ks potentially too, for those
After
clients. As long as an owner is owner occupied, a lot of the cash buyers out there feel that that's the way they get their offer accepted. It's something to let them know about,
It's a
absolutely.
great program where you guys can
Yeah, we
get
got-
more business from
We
knowing
got
more
12
about
offers over the weekend. Not one of them was FHA. It was like, like 8 cash
still ain't cash,
and then
wow.
like 4 conventional.
It's not a
But they're
bad
just on
property to
junk
have.
properties. I mean, it's a small sample.
Which one's that?
Molly, Myron,
Okay.
and.
Well, that kind of cuts against what I just said, though, because if we
Yeah.
had 12 offers and 8 of them
But
were
they're not
cash,
hedge funds. They're private.
they're buyer.
John Smith buyers got cash.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay. Thanks, you guys, for your time.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you guys.
Chris?
Norris Group, they're doing something tomorrow?
They are. We're having the Moreno Valley caravan. What do we call it?
Yeah.
Professional meeting.
Professional.
Anyway, tomorrow, 8:30, Bruce is coming and gonna do I don't know, I'm assuming they're gonna give him a half hour, an hour just to talk his stuff as far as where he thinks the market. I'm pretty excited and interested to see. The last time I saw Bruce, or actually talked to Bruce personally, he's still pretty damn optimistic on 2014. He is going to be one of our speakers at our April 23rd event. So this will be kind of a little sampling of maybe what he's thinking for April 23rd. But yeah, if you can make it tomorrow, 8:30, this room, Bruce will be here. I think he's gonna have a PowerPoint, so maybe we'll get a sample of what he's looking for.
Okay.
So, and then on the April 23rd, have we sent out an email, kind of?
Yeah.
You will get an email within the next week, kind of a save the date email. We're going to do our market forecast. God, I can't believe I didn't put that on the PowerPoint. We're gonna do our market forecast, probably same place, Doubletree, Hilton in Ontario. We've got Bruce confirmed, we've got Chris Thornburg confirmed, and we're also gonna have John Husing. I forget where John's from, I think San Bernardino University.
University of Redlands.
Redlands University, now he's got his own consulting gig. So we'll do a save the date thing and get that out to you. But generally speaking, everybody I'm talking to, guys, and whether you believe it or not, this is good for us. Everything I'm hearing is just positive, man. And I know it's been a rough fourth quarter. It's not a great January for a lot of us. But, you know, get your ass in gear and get out there and sell something because there's people buying stuff.
Right.
What you got, Steve?
We have that thing on the yacht.
Yeah, what?
We have that forecast on the yacht.
On the yacht? Well, you know what? We could, but I got to tell you, our goal is I want 800 people at the forecast. Last year we had 400 and something confirmed, and 200 and we have 250, 300 people. I don't know what the hell we had. Well, I want 800 people in that building, and keep in mind we only have 200 agents, so it's gonna be an event. And I frankly, I want you guys to see it as an event. Hey, Coldwell Banker Town and Country, we're doing this. Pass this stuff out in your farm. You know, Chris or Steven or whoever, or Eric or Sherry, you're out farming. You are sponsoring a market forecast. Come to my market forecast.
What's the date?
April 23rd.
What time?
Probably morning hours, probably 9 to noon. We haven't laid it out. Last time we did it at 8 o'clock, it was way too early, nobody wanted to show up that early. So we're either gonna do it from 9 to noon. Well, what do you guys think? Should we, it's gonna be about a 3-hour event. Are we better off doing it 9 to noon or 1 to
What's the date?
4?
Is that
April 23rd,
I
it's
know,
a
but
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That was another problem. Last year, we did it on a Friday morning at 8 a.m.
Doubletree in Ontario?
at the Doubletree. And it
Yeah,
was,
so later because you got the college right there.
man, it was stupid.
So
It was a
9
weekend and it
10.
was too early and realtors and people don't get up that early. So,
No,
and anyway.
agents don't get up that early.
Eight-
Affiliates do.
Well, and quite honestly, we're gonna be promoting it with all of our affiliates. We want you to, now again, it is a Coldwell Banker Town and Country event. But I want you guys to get excited about it and I want you to, I want you to make it your own. We'll give you a template, you can make a flyer and say, hey, Shirley is having a market conference or forecast. One of the things that we didn't do last year because we were limited on space that we are gonna do this year is we're gonna invite all of our property management book of business. I don't know that our tenants will be all that interested, although they may, but we're certainly gonna invite all of our landlords, which are investors, and say, hey, what do you think's going on in the market? Maybe they wanna buy another house, maybe they wanna sell. We've had an interesting few weeks where we're getting some of our landlords that we've been managing properties for a long time that are shifting gears, saying, hey, we've had this for a while, I think I want to start something different. In other words, sell my house. So, and I know I've said this to a few of you guys, that business is available, okay? I'm very selective on where that property management business goes to, but, why don't you take me to lunch? Let's talk, okay? Press me. Because there'll probably be, I don't know, 20 to 50 listings that are going to come out of that property management department this year.
How many do you manage?
Huh?
How many clients?
Oh, on that side, I don't know, 550, 600 single families in that neighborhood. So, anyway, so I'm thinking 10%-ish, 5 to 10%. We don't capture all of them, which is the shitty part, but bad part. Okay, we're ran longer than I thought. Anybody got anything else? Anybody?
Thank you.
Nothing? All right, guys. Have a good one. Go sell something. All right, we'll get them.